Okay, this morning we're going to be cooking a ribeye rack, and we normally light our pits with these all-natural starters, but we got us a new toy today, boys and girls. It's called the Loaf Lighter. It's kind of like a real intense hair dryer. Whenever you push this button, it's electrical. When you push this button, this electric element with the real intense heat is being produced with actually a slight blowing motion, so it lights the fire really quick. Let's see if we can get this thing started. Okay, here we got our lump char wood. We're gonna go ahead and, can you hear that? Like a hair dryer. We're just gonna stick it down, not bury it in the coals, we're gonna stick it in the coals. Make sure that your air damper on your grill's open, so you got good oxygen coming in from underneath. I did this a while ago and it took about 15 to 20 seconds to start getting crackles, the sound of lump char wood first igniting. And already we're getting sparkles coming out. You see that? And once you get this, once you get these sparkles going, you want to you don't want to leave the aluminum surround in there because it'll melt. You just, after you get the sparkles, you just kind of back it off. See what happens. See. So the element lights the coals, and then the aid of the blower blowing the hot air into the coals. Those two combinations is just lethal. I mean, it's just gonna, see that going right there? It's gonna keep it held down. So you can literally, with the power of 110 and this device right here, light your fire all natural, no chemicals, in a matter of less than 5 minutes. You see that going right there? Look at them sparkles, it's so pretty. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a ribeye rack, about a third of a whole rack. We're gonna rub it down with some nice dry rub, and then we're gonna sear it over this direct fire, and then we're gonna move it over indirectly with the sear plate. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that later. What y'all think of this? Pretty impressive if you ask me. You're not going to find this device in any mass merchant store. You're going to have to probably go to a specialty hearth or barbecue store. The retail prices will vary, but for the amount that you're going to pay for this and the fuel saved and the no chemical not light up of your char wood, I think it's going to be worth every penny. That's where the bones were at one time here. You can see a beautiful big chunk of meat, nice ribeye. What we're going to do is we're going to season it with two different seasonings. We have butt rub, which is a good all-purpose rub, a lot less sodium than most all-purpose seasonings. And then we're going to mix that with, this is from Charcoal Companion. It's a great product that we sell here. It's a beef and lamb marinade / rub, and I've been selling this for like 15 years, and I've had people compliment us on the flavor of the steaks being that of some of the best steak shops in the country. So we're going to liberally sprinkle this on all sides. Then we're going to come back and top it off with a little butt rub, because as they say, a little butt rub makes everything better. And it's true. So we're going to, this is just, I read the ingredients of this rub here. It has a little bit of everything. Too much to talk about. And I'm sure some things they don't even want you to know. So we're going to have this all placed around the rub and kind of pat it into the meat. We're not going to oil it down or butter it down. I don't inject it. I think it's unnecessary. There's a lot of natural flavors in the steak. We just want, when we cut this open, we want to, number one, taste the seasoning on the outside, but then also taste the flavor of the meat on the outside, on the inside. All right, here we go. Got the ribeye outside. We're gonna show you what that's gonna look like on the grill, but I just wanted to point out, ceramic grill, both the top vent and the intake at the bottom near the coals were left open for probably around 30 to 40 minutes while we're pre-seasoning the meat. And you can see here we're easily above 600 degrees oven temperature. The surface grilling temperature will probably be somewhere between 900 and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, so that when we throw that ribeye rack on there, you're gonna hear some pretty sweet sizzle. So let's step back and see what that's gonna sound like. All right, as promised, I told you I'd tell you a little Boudreaux and Thibodeau joke. This grill's cooking at about 500 degrees on the money. So we're gonna leave that go. You got about another 20, 30 minutes before we start checking the temperature. So let me tell you a little joke about Boudreaux and Thibodeau. Man, Boudreaux and Thibodeau, like I told y'all before, they're like best friends. They're inseparable. So they work at the same factory. And Boudreaux always went to pick up Thibodeau in the morning. They lived down the street from each other with a big field between the two of them on a gravel road out in the country. Well, Boudreaux one morning, he didn't show up to pick up Thibodeau for work. So Thibodeau's sitting there drinking his coffee, you know, and he's eating some breakfast, you know, because that's important. It's the most important, you know, meal of the day, you know. So he's eating his breakfast and he knows Boudreaux. So, man, he calls Boudreaux's phone. It rang and it rang and it rang. No answer. Boudreaux didn't answer. Thibodeau's starting to get worried. So, man, he walks up to the kitchen. He's cleaning his plate. And he looks out his kitchen window across that field. And he sees Boudreaux standing right in the middle of the field. He said, man, what got that done? What's he doing? So he walks out onto the porch and he hollers as loud as he can, hey, Boudreaux! Boudreaux turned and looked at Thibodeau. He said, come here. So Boudreaux come walking across that field. He walked up onto the porch. Thibodeau said, man, Boudreaux, what do you think you're doing like that? Boudreaux said, Matin. He said, I'm trying to get one of them like that Pulitzer surprises. He said, qu'est-ce que ça, Pulitzer surprise? What you talking about? He said, man, let me tell you. He said, I was watching one of them programs on that Discovery Channel last night, and they're talking about Nelson Mandela and all these people. They got this Pulitzer surprise. And he said, man, all you got to do to earn one of them Pulitzer surprises, they said you got to be outstanding in your field. Man, that's where I was all night. I ain't got one yet. Okay, we're still at 500. We're gonna check in a little while. Feel that heat? Oh my gosh, it's gonna sound good. Got the ribeye rack right here. We're gonna put it fat side down first, and we're gonna let that start to render. We're gonna get these intermittent flares. We're gonna come back and check in about 5 minutes just by kind of lifting and peeking underneath. Make sure that we're not burning the meat. We just want to sear the meat. There's a big difference between searing something and burning something. So we want to sear, which will lock in the juice. That intense heat right there is radiating up into the meat. It's just lifting up, and I mean, I can barely keep my hand above this. It's almost like an infrared burn. All right, we moved that baby over. Let me show you what we did here. Had the ribeye rack right here. We rolled it over, so this is both sides that have been seared. You can see that the middle section right here is going to finish cooking. All right, here we go. We got 142 internal temperature, which is basically a medium doneness. I'm gonna pull the thermometer out. Oh. We're gonna go ahead and carve a piece off. See what the inside looks like. Should be beautiful though. And if somebody likes it a little bit more of a medium doneness, more of a well done. What you can do is take this steak and put it directly over your fire and finish cooking it a little bit more to get more of like a well done. That's good right there. A lot of people, that's how I like mine. How y'all like that? Oh yeah. Look pretty. That's pretty. But we're gonna go ahead and serve this up. We got some great customers over here. Make them famous. We're gonna feed these guys right here because we hungry, and then we're gonna wrap it up in just a minute.
Man, that's tender.
Let's see. Okay, let's
How
try.
long did you cook it?
Well, we've been here an hour and a half, haven't we? Tender as your heart, too.
You got tender heart. We probably cooked it total. I started about 9:30, 10 o'clock searing it. So about 2 hours,
Yeah.
give or take. Now that's some good ribeye.
Yeah. Yeah, man.